Hello, I'm Maria Harding. I'm the principal flutist of the Omaha Symphony. Another thing I want to talk to you about is how to cue, how to use our breath as a cue for the section to kind of keep us together. As I mentioned before, I'm going to use now the March to the Scaffold movement from the same Symphonie Fantastique. A lot of this is brass, and I've indicated that in my music and written brass in just to bring my awareness there for note length, intonation, all of that stuff. But then suddenly it's not with the brass, and so I've just written in my music solely. That means that we, and in part I, are in charge of keeping that section together. Later in this same movement, that happens again here just before rehearsal 54, where the brass drops out and it's just us, and we're just hitting these little raindrop notes. And one way to do that is not, because it comes on an offbeat, to not give the note itself, but the beat from which we're rebounding off of. And you might have seen that little tiny breath that I gave as I'm giving the beat too. That helps, but it's important that you know when we talk about giving a breath cue, they can be, you know, at the beginning, not as a rebound, but to show the downbeat too. But that is not your breath. So I'm already full of air, right? If you wait to get your actual playing breath till that last second, it's not going to be enough air. Your embouchure is not going to be set, and you're going to be late. If I'm trying to get all of the breath, it's just not possible. So this may kind of supplement what you've been taught about breathing together as an ensemble. For wind players, you already have your air in your lungs ready to go, and it's just a sniff on top of that. So I'm full of air ready to go, and then it continues. See it again? But I'm certainly not filling my lungs. So that's how you can use the breath to help communicate that to your section as well. As a section leader, then the second part of cueing and being aware is to know when my section is joining me. So my marking for that comes here, and I've just put with Roman numeral 2, and that's my shorthand for meaning that the second flute will be joining me. There's nothing that I have to do, like I don't need to tell him or her to come in, but just to bring my awareness to it will often sort of encourage an ensemble playing, and it kind of puts my ear there. And if they have lost count, it is helpful to kind of give a little tap like that, I mean physical tap with the instrument. So I've got the with 2 here, and then where it becomes necessary for me to give a physical cue is actually when we're finishing, because probably the conductor has moved on to something else. Where it becomes really crucial for us to cue as players often isn't in the start, but in the ending or somewhere in the middle. So for instance, here at the very end, after this last swell, and that little movement I did at the end is enough to help not only my flute section, but woodwinds around me finish that phrase together. I'd say with cueing, physical cueing, less is more. You'll notice that when we in the Omaha Symphony winds are playing, most of the time we're pretty still. We're not statues, we're not stiff, but we're quite still. And this is for 2 reasons. One, to not distract each other, to not take away from what the conductor is communicating, but also then when I do move, it captures the eye and the attention of people around me. If I were moving all the time, it would be far less effective. So less is more when it comes to physical moving together as an ensemble.